Dr. Chashi Lu.
Question 10, please.
Sir, measles is a highly contagious and serious viral disease, and vaccination is the most effective protection against this infection. High vaccination coverage at the population level not only protects the individuals, but also make it harder for the disease to spread, thereby reducing the risk of large outbreaks. This way, it also provides herd immunity, which will protect those who are unable to receive vaccination, such as infants under the age of 12 months and those who are immune compromised. It is therefore important for countries to maintain a high level of vaccination. In recent years, there has been a global increase in measles outbreaks because of declining vaccination coverage in many countries. This has resulted in a significant increase of non-immune individuals in the community, making it easier for the disease to spread. Being a travel hub, Singapore is also exposed to imported cases. In the first 4 months of 2019, Singapore saw 43 measles cases, nearly 3 times more than the same period in 2018, as a result of increased global outbreaks. These were all sporadic cases or cases with limited spread, and there was no community outbreak. We are monitoring the global and local situations closely. We have alerted our doctors to look out for measles cases and notify MOH promptly so that actions can be taken to prevent disease spread. We should also strive to achieve a high level of vaccination in Singapore. Our national immunization schedule recommends that children should have their first dose of measles vaccine at 12 months of age and the second dose at 15 to 18 months of age. With the exception of those who are unable to be vaccinated because of medical reasons, the measles vaccination is compulsory for local children. Earlier this year, we have also made it compulsory for foreign children applying for long-term passes to be fully vaccinated against measles. We have also put in place measures to facilitate and encourage vaccination. Vaccination is available free to all Singaporean children at our polyclinics, and HPB Health Promotion Board sends reminders to parents whose children have yet to complete vaccination by 2 years old. HPB also provides catch-up vaccination in primary and secondary schools for students who still have not completed their vaccination. The measles vaccination coverage among resident children reached 95% for the first dose at 2 years of age and 93% for the second dose at 7 years of age. Nonetheless, we cannot be complacent. MOH is looking into ways to raise the vaccination coverage further. Some of the measures being considered include sending reminders to parents ahead of vaccination due dates. This way, we ensure that children are protected as early as possible. We will also look into how we can raise the vaccination rate of children before they enter preschool and primary school. To protect the more vulnerable populations like infants and immunocompromised, we will study ways to ensure that workers caring for them achieve a high level of vaccination coverage. Even with these measures, we can continue to expect to have sporadic cases of measles due to imported cases. We can expect to see more cases when there is an increase in global outbreaks. I would like to urge our parents to bring their children for vaccination when it is due. By working together to improve and maintain a high level of vaccination coverage, we can better protect our population and reduce the risk of large local outbreaks.
Dr. Chia.
I'd like to thank the Minister for the very comprehensive response. I have a few supplementary questions. I think the first is with regards to the measles cases that were reported recently that increased to 43 cases. Could I just maybe have an understanding of the type of cases? Were they adults, children? Were they imported cases? Just to get a feel of how these cases arose. The second is with regard to vaccination rate. I note the answer on the vaccination rates with regard to children. I was wondering whether we have data on the overall vaccination rate for the resident population in Singapore. Because if you look at the outbreaks overseas, a lot of the cases arose in adults and so on, not just in the pediatric community. The third supplementary question was, I was wondering whether we have some ideas or some knowledge about what the reasons why certain children and adults refuse to be vaccinated. I think this maybe comes with the next PQ. Does the ministry think that the anti-vaccination movement and these online misinformation may have an important impact on the reason why parents or maybe adults even are refusing the vaccination? And I think the last SQ is regarding whether Ministry of Health foresees that in the event of an outbreak or even preemptively, actions might be taken against unvaccinated individuals. We've seen in other countries there are restrictions to children who are unvaccinated from attending preschool or even going to school. The German Minister for Health has just proposed that there might be penalties, financial penalties, for people who are unvaccinated. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shah, for the 4 supplementary questions. First, for the 43 cases we have been reported during the first 4 months this year, let me share that among the 43, 33 were not vaccinated. There were 10 that were vaccinated, but as all of us know, vaccination may not be 100% effective, and even among those that are vaccinated, up to 3% may not be effective. And therefore, we need to raise the overall population coverage to protect these small numbers of people who are unprotected despite vaccination. So 33 were not vaccinated, and of which, among those who are non-vaccinated, 9 of them were infants before they are due for the vaccination, and the rest were generally aged between 1 to 54, so there's a wide variety of age groups. And for the adult coverage, we do not have specific data on how many of them were vaccinated, but there was a recent study in 2018 on as a result of our seroprevalence study. The study indicated that the vast majority of the adults in Singapore had a very high level of immunity against measles. One of the possible reasons could be that these adults in the early 70s, during that period of time, measles were very widespread, very common occurrence, and many of us who are adults today could remember having measles during that time. And therefore, the naturally acquired immunity arising from actually contracting measles is quite prevalent among our adults. And based on our studies, our immunity levels is in the high 90s among the older adults. And Dr. Chow also asked about the reasons for why some of them did not go for vaccination. I think the factors are quite varied. I think a large majority of them were just passive, waiting for the next convenient occasion to bring their children for vaccination. And unfortunately, sometimes that occasion never came. So most of them hope that next time when they see a doctor, they can bring their children, but the children stay healthy, so never had a chance to see the doctor. And when they see the doctor, the children may be unwell and therefore not suitable for vaccination. Therefore, we would like to encourage parents, if possible, to bring their children for vaccination as soon as possible. And HPV does conduct vaccination programs in the schools to provide convenience for parents to have their children vaccinated. Dr. Shaw asked about potential actions against parents, children who are not vaccinated. We are looking into various possibilities, and even at the preschool level, how we can encourage and ensure that our children who go to preschool are vaccinated, because this is important not only to protect the individual children, but to also protect children who could not be vaccinated, especially in the infant care. Many of them are below 12 months of age. They could not be vaccinated, and therefore the older children ought to be vaccinated to protect them. And at the same time, we are also looking at childcare workers in the preschool sector to ensure that they are covered by vaccination or they are immune, so as to protect the children under their charge.